Hello, everyone, and good Sunday afternoon. I'm Brian Newdorf, one of the forecasters here at the National Weather Service office in Louisville, Kentucky. Wanted to take a minute to give you an update on all the activity and weather that we expect not only through the rest of the afternoon, but as we head into tonight and overnight, with the potential for severe weather in the form of strong to damaging storms in a line that will work through later on this evening. Here is the latest. Let's first talk about the winds that are going on here this afternoon. Wind advisory continues as we go through the rest of the afternoon and make our way into Monday morning. We have seen widespread wind reports of 40 to 50 mile an hour gusts, with the isolated gusts of exceeding 55 miles an hour. That has also produced some isolated to scatter power outage, as well as utility poles down, and as well as trees going down. For the most part, though, our winds are going to stay in that 40 to 50 mile an hour range. But I want you to keep in mind that this wind energy that's in place right now will only add to the threat of the severe weather as we make our way into later on tonight. It is all connected, that energy that is in place. But just keep in mind, if you're driving out there this afternoon, and I had to deal with it on my way here to the office, again, just be vigilant, be aware, have both wheels 10 and 2, hands on the wheel at 10 and 2 as you're driving, because there could be debris. I had some blowing barrels that I had to deal with, and it just takes one gust to kind of, you can feel it when it jolts your car, even if you're not a high profile vehicle, but they're most susceptible. So let's take a look now at the threat of severe thunderstorms later on this evening. Right now, we have a line already beginning to take shape just west of St. Louis, and that line will start to work its way into western Kentucky and then start to make its way into central Kentucky and southern Indiana across the Louisville warning forecast, our county warning area here, as we go sometime between about 9 o'clock and 3 a.m. Eastern time, or 8 o'clock to 2 a.m. Central Daylight Time. And again, because of the wind energy that is already in place, damaging winds 65, 75 miles an hour is your main threat. But we're not ruling out the possibility of tornadoes. And I think it's very important to stress that this is a nighttime event. So it's vital that you have ways to get the latest watches and especially warnings if and when one is issued for your community. But again, here's the look. And again, the wind is the biggest threat. As you can see on the left-hand side, you've got that kind of red magenta area. That kind of puts us in that like 59 to 30% range across most of the I-65 corridor as you work your way on off towards the west. And the hatching, those little lines, increase the probability of up to 75 mile an hour winds with that. But again, we also are under a potential for a tornado threat, but that looks like that's mostly west of the I-65 corridor. These storms, when these line of storms move through, have a history when they make their way through of producing these spin-up tornadoes. So that threat is in place, although not as high as the winds. It is just something to keep in mind as we make our way into the overnight. So the other big thing is with these strong gusty winds, when you're talking 75 mile an hour wind gust, you can have power outages. So that is something to be aware of, and you're going to want to make sure when those storms come through that you pretty much just stay indoors, avoid areas. But, we could see property damage of fences, trees, large branches, utility poles that will lead to power outages. So it's time to be prepared. Have your flashlight, spare batteries, your charger for your phone in case you need it, and just know where things are. Maybe have some water out of the refrigerator or have it accessible so that you don't have to open the refrigerator when power goes out. Let's take a look at timing, though. And again, as I mentioned before, just about 3:30 into the 4 o'clock hour, the line of storms were coming together along the cold front near or west of St. Louis. And then storms will enter the western Kentucky later on this evening, probably somewhere between 9 and 7 o'clock this evening. By say 11 o'clock to 1 a.m. Eastern time, it should reach the I-65 corridor, stretching from, say, Louisville down to Bowling Green, and then over towards the Frankfort, Lexington, the I-75 corridor sometime after midnight. And again, be prepared. This is a nighttime event. It is vital to have ways of getting warnings, whether you have somebody who's going to be monitoring, give you a call. So have your phone turned on, the volume up. Make sure you can get those wireless emergency alerts. Those are enabled. You can check those in your settings. Have a flashlight handy. And if you have one, use that NOAA weather radio. Make sure it is ready to go. Then Behind it, it's going to get colder. Winter makes a return. Temperatures are going to fall. You may even see by tomorrow morning a little bit of a dusting on some areas of snow. It is going to get cold from the 70s and 60s of now to falling into the 30s, and it's going to feel blustery during the day on Monday. And by Tuesday morning, low temperatures are going to be into the teens to near 20. And when you factor in gusty winds, it will feel like we are going to have wind chills into the single digits. We are going to keep you updated as we go throughout the rest of the afternoon and evening. Tune in to your favorite media source for weather, be it on television, online, and you can also get our latest weather information by checking out weather.gov/Louisville, and you can find us on social media, be it over on X or on Facebook or even here on YouTube if we need to do a follow-up update. Be prepared and stay safe, everyone.